Welcome to my first YouTube video of 2025. As I'm excited because I've set two main mantras for this year, right? The first one is there is nothing I cannot do, and that is going to apply to training, to business, to content. There is nothing off limits. There is nothing I cannot do and achieve. And the second one is I will not be afraid to be seen trying. And one of these big goals is always year after year YouTube, and I kind of get into the flow and then I don't. I struggle to get it back and then I kind of get back on track, and I never give myself too much of a hard time for it because I'm really proud of every video I've ever put up on this YouTube. I'm just going to keep being me, and whether that's a mix of a bit of my life and a bit of my coaching, that's what you're going to get. So with that in mind, I want to tell you a little bit about what my intention and my goals are for 2025. I'm just sitting down and thinking about my 2025 goals. I kind of split them all into different categories: personal, financial, business, physical, like health and fitness and stuff. I thought what we'd do is kind of touch on each category individually, and I'll tell you a little bit about where my mind's at and what I'm aiming for. So personally, I would really like by the end of the year to be in the process of buying a house. I'm actually pretty ready already. I want to be in a position where I can buy and live in my house and still go on nice trips. And I can probably do that, maybe, but obviously I have always lived at home apart from the few years I lived at university, so it's likely I'm probably going to have quite a big adjustment when I move out with bills and mortgage and all of these things that I don't know, I just want to put myself in the best possible financial position. So that's quite a big personal goal for me, and one that is incredibly exciting, and I guess kind of creates a big pillar for lots of other goals, because in order to reach this big goal I kind of have to reach a series of other mini goals to kind of be on my way there. I go through a mix of feelings about it. I feel really excited, and then I feel completely terrified, but I definitely feel like I'm ready for this next step in my life. And then what will come after that, I feel like almost everything's been a little bit chaotic and a little bit on pause because I quit my job, and then I genuinely thought I was only going to do that for a year, and then I was like, nah, I'm not going back to work, I'm not going to do my master's. Then my kind of fitness business kind of really took off, and then I lost my Under Armour contract, and then I was kind of out on my own again. And so the last few years have kind of been quite turbulent in terms of not knowing what I'm doing with my work life, and now that has completely settled and I'm a lot more calm and have a lot more kind of consistency in that, I am getting ready for this next step. And another big personal goal of mine is just to be more confident and less harsh on myself. And so I'm trying to be a lot more positive in my self-talk and try not to talk down to myself as much. I am doing little things. I bought myself a 5-year diary, which, you know, we will see, but I want to finish this year. You just fill in a little entry at the top of each day. At the end of every day, I just write a couple lines about what I did that day and how I felt, and then hopefully at the end of the year I'm going to have this really big backlog of, oh, that's when I got the idea to do this and look where it is now, or this is, you know, where I kind of made an investment here and this is how it's paid off. And so that's kind of my goal with that, is to be present, be kinder, appreciate how far I've come, and, you know, just respect the journey I've been on rather than where my anxiety likes to take me, which is constantly trying to live in the future. 24 days into writing my journal entries, I am working on the kindness. Sometimes I do slip into that negative mindset, and me and Jack also had a little business meeting where we sat and broke down all of our finances and started putting that pieces together to kind of buy. So yeah, all of those personal goals are kind of creeping up on their way, and it's going to be a very exciting year. I guess that leads us on to business. So in terms of work, I have a few different sources of income. I have my app, which has grown so much in the last year in terms of our members, in terms of content that we have on there. Our library of programs has expanded so much in the last year. I have my one-to-one online coaching. I have brand work when that does come in, and I also have teaching. I teach reformer now, which I haven't actually spoken about on this channel, but I will probably do an in-depth detailed video about becoming a reformer teacher, because I know that it's very popular right now, and yeah, any advice I could give, I'd love to help. So those are kind of the main ways I make money at this moment in time. Obviously what I would like is that all of those increase, maybe not the reformer teaching, as I'm only going to stay doing a couple of days of that a week, and the main reason I started doing those classes was, one, for structure and stability through my week. Two, to help me with my loneliness from spending so much time at home and not really around a lot of other people that are self-employed. Three, to get myself in front of more people and more teaching experience, and four, to learn a new skill. So I think I'm already ticking off a lot of those boxes just by doing that this year. But in terms of where I'd like to see that going is, I plan to do my pre and postnatal qualification this year, which will expand my knowledge and help me just become, one, a better teacher in terms of reformer, but I can take that into every other aspect of my teaching, from a flexibility to calisthenics and all of those wonderful things. Looking for increases in financials across all areas of my business. I'm currently in the process of moving all of my current online clients over to a different platform, which is going to just make my systems a little bit more efficient, enabling me to still give all of my clients the same level of detail, but to be able to take on more clients as well. So that is incredibly exciting. And obviously the app will just continue to grow, and I really want to build out the community side of my app this year and just kind of get back on teaching the workshops, back teaching some events, and hopefully I'd really like to partner with some brands for these events as well, because as a small business, you want to kind of keep the cost low for people that come and take a class with you, but you have to hire the venue, you have to do all these things. So if I could get some brand work, or just, to work with some brands to kind of sponsor some events for some calisthenics or some handstands or some flexibility, that would be an absolute dream for me. So yeah, that's where I see my business life going in 2024, and I guess that does tie in with financials as well. But I guess one thing I didn't really touch on is kind of the brand work. 2024 was not a great year in terms of brand work for me. In full transparency, I hit a big goal of that 100,000 followers in January, and my accounts just haven't really moved. And it's really hard when that happens to you to not take that personally, because you really just think, okay, well, what's wrong with me? So difficult to see people that started so far after you just soar past you, and they're doing the things that you dream of doing. Again, there is nothing I cannot do, and maybe I just need to put myself out there a little bit more, and that's what I'm going to do this year. I'm going to try and broaden my horizons and push myself out of my comfort zone to hopefully bring about some of those dream opportunities. So I'd love to be working with a brand again. I recently tried some stuff from On Our Active and was blown away. You can really tell their stuff is made by women for women, and that's what I really like. And so it would be a dream to do a little bit of work with them. However, a brand like Nike would be incredible, because I feel like my content is really focused around performance. It's focused around what I can do and what I continue to learn and do with my body. And I want to work with a brand that sees that for me, and I'm never going to be this I don't see myself as this beautiful, glamorous girl that looks incredible. I want to show what the clothes can do and how they make me feel my best self when I train. So I think I want to find a brand that aligns with that and that I feel good in their kit. In terms of financials, we're talking more from a savings point. So like I said, I'm going to have about another 8 to 10 months of kind of saving. And so what I really want to get better at this next year is kind of budgeting and putting pots away of my money. I'm a really big saver. So this year when it came to paying my tax bill, I kind of didn't have to save for it because I had the money there. Whereas what I really want to do this year is put money away that would be like me paying my mortgage, which will just go into a savings pot for like house renovations and stuff for the next 8 months. Money that goes away for my tax bill, and then kind of play money and just get a lot better at organising my money. I'm also planning to learn quite a lot more about investing in the stocks and shares market this year. I bought a book called Girls That Invest, and I'm really excited about that because I started dabbling in ISAs a good few years ago. I just put money into ISAs, and you just really do start to see that like compounding interest and money that you can put away and leave there is where it's at for saving and for long-term wealth. And that's what I want. I want long-term wealth. I want long-term security for myself, for my family, for my children. Maybe that'll be something I start sharing across my YouTube as I learn a little bit more about that. And also treating myself to some stuff. I have a lot of anxiety around spending my money, and so I'd like to kind of get into the habit of having those saving pots, so I know that it's okay to treat myself and spend some money on some nice things if I want to. Lastly, I just want to talk about, I guess, some other personal goals that I have for 2025, which is hobbies. It's sad to say that the East London Gymnastics Centre was closed before Christmas as a result of a new owner taking it over and kicking them out of the gym, meaning that gymnastics was never like something I made money from. Like I coach separate entities to that, but like I used to go to gymnastics for fun and to create videos. Like so many of my vlogs on here were adult gymnastics training vlogs, and I feel like that's been taken away from me. But also East London was a comfort for me because it was my home. I trained there since I was 7. So I need to get into more hobbies. I need to meet new people and make new friends and kind of put myself out there a little bit more. So I have set myself a few goals. I want to start taking piano lessons. I want to start taking dance classes, and I want to kind of start going back to aerial again. And I'm also going to be trying new adult gymnastics classes. I kind of had this revelation that, you know, who am I? Who am I when you take away the gymnastics? I have identified as this gymnastics girl for so long, and I think I've spoken about it before, of my confidence because I wasn't confident in myself, what I looked like and, you know, who I was like, oh, but it's okay because I can do these skills. Whereas now I want to be like, you know, I'm getting older. What other, if this suddenly got taken away, all my work interests, you know, what do I do for fun? What do I enjoy? What are my hobbies? And so like one of my hobbies that I didn't quite realize, like I love reading. So I've set myself a goal to read 24 books this year, and I'm going to try and log it all on Goodreads. Like I said, I want to start learning to play the piano, and I want to go to dance classes because I feel that's going to really help my confidence, and just kind of use those as pillars to document and share with other people as well, but also just to do it for myself. And it's okay if I don't document it and don't film it, because they're things I want to do for me and things I want to do with my friends and to have fun, and yeah, just to know that I have other things about me that are great. As sad as that sounds. What someone reminded me is that you don't have to be any good at your hobbies. And I think I've always put a lot of stress on myself that I have to be good at everything. But to do these things with no exceptions, and like I wanted to compete in a fitness competition this year, and so I've signed up for turf games that I'm going to do on the 15th of February. And that's such a big step for me to do something that is out of my comfort zone that I'm not that good at, and to do it with a group or a team of people feels like such a big step in the right direction of this person that I want to become, and just letting go of all of the need to show people that I can do all these things and I can do them well, and just having the freedom to just do them. I'm really excited for 2025 and bulk out and create this YouTube community of this longer form content and be free to be myself a little bit more, rather than on these short form platforms where I feel like I just can't get it right. Here's to a great year. I guess I'll see you very soon.